Throughout the ages, humanity has been captivated by creatures that blur the lines between myth and reality, beasts so strange and terrifying that they defy all explanation. Today, we'll talk about the crocata, a creature so shrouded in mystery that its true nature remains elusive. Was it a real creature, or the product of folklore and fear? The crocata, also known as korokata, is a mythical dog-wolf-like creature that originated in India or Ethiopia, linked to the hyena, and said to be a deadly enemy of men and dogs. The crocata is described as having the body of an exceptionally large dog, sometimes as big as a mule. Its head resembles that of a hyena, with cloven hooves, a horse-like mane, and a lion-like tail. Its fur varies in color, ranging from orangish-yellow to brownish-black, often marked with spots or stripes reminiscent of a hyena or tiger. In some accounts, the creature is said to lack conventional teeth, instead possessing solid bone-like structures used to crush its prey. The crocata was first mentioned by Pliny the Elder in his work Natural History, Book 8, Chapter 30, where he described it as a hybrid between a dog and a wolf, possessing incredibly strong teeth and the ability to digest food instantly. Other mythologies expand on this depiction, portraying the crocata as a gluttonous beast that digs up buried corpses and prowls farms under the cover of night, akin to an Indian version of the werewolf. The crocata is also blood-related to manticore. In the Pliny the Elder book, 8th, chapter 45, notes that, by the union of the hyena with the Ethiopian lioness, the crocata is produced, which has the same faculty of imitating the voices of men and cattle. Its gaze is always fixed and immovable. It has no gums in either of its jaws, and the teeth are one continuous piece of bone. They are enclosed in a sort of box, as it were. Juba informs us that the manticora of Ethiopia can also imitate human speech. In chapter 72 to 73 also writes of another hyena-like creature, the lucrocata, which he calls the swiftest of all beasts, about the size of an ass, with a stag's haunches, a lion's neck, tail and breast, badger's head, cloven hoof, mouth opening right back to the ears, and ridges of bone in place of rows of teeth. This animal is reported to imitate the voices of human beings. Saint Photius of Constantinople, in his summary of the book Indica by the Greek author Ctesias, writes, "In Ethiopia there exists a creature known as the crocata, commonly referred to as the dog wolf, renowned for its incredible strength. It is said to mimic the human voice, calling people by name at night to lure them close, only to devour them. The creature is described as being as brave as a lion, as swift as a horse, and as powerful as a bull. Moreover, it is believed to be impervious to any weapon made of steel." The Roman author Claudius Aelianus, in his work On the Characteristics of Animals, Book 7, Chapter 22, specifically links the hyena and the crocata. He notes that it seems that the hyena also, and the crocatas, as they call it, are viciously clever animals. At any rate, the hyena prowls about cattle folds by night and imitates men vomiting, and at the sound dogs come up, thinking it is a man, whereupon it seizes and devours them. I shall now relate the villainy of the korokatos, of which I have actually heard. It conceals itself in thickets, and then listens to woodcutters calling one another by name, and even to anything they say, and then it imitates their voices and speaks, though the story may be fabulous, with a voice that sounds human at any rate, calling out the name which it has heard. And the man who has been called approaches, the animal withdraws and calls again. The man follows the voice all the more. But when it has drawn him away from his fellow workers and has got him alone, it seizes him and kills him, and then makes a meal off him. The Neoplatonic philosopher Porphyry of Tyre, in his work on abstinence from animal food, Book 3, Chapter 4, writes about the Indian hyena, referred to by the locals as the crocata. He notes, "The Indian hyena, which the natives call crocota, possesses a voice so eerily human that, without any teacher, it is capable of going to houses and calling out the name of an individual whom it knows it can easily overpower." The crocata is said to have appeared multiple times in the Roman arena. According to the Augustan history, Emperor Antoninus Pius likely presented a crocata at his Decinalia in 148 AD. Additionally, the historian Cassius Dio attributes the introduction of the crocata to Rome to Emperor Septimius Severus, noting that this Indian species was brought into Rome for the first time, as far as I know. Dio describes it as having the color of a lioness and tiger combined, with the general appearance of both these animals as well as that of a dog and fox, all curiously blended together. As time passed, medieval bestiaries merged these various accounts, leading to the creature being assigned differing names and characteristics, both real and imaginary. One such later addition, not found in the ancient sources, is the belief that the crocata's eyes were striped gems, capable of granting oracular powers when placed under the tongue. Scholars and historians speculate that the crocata may have been inspired by real animals, such as hyenas, striped hyenas, and African wild dogs, or a misinterpretation of fauna, exaggerated accounts of exotic wildlife in distant lands, often transformed into mythical creatures in ancient literature. The scientific name of the spotted hyena, Crocuta crocota, was derived from the mythological crocata, and there are notable similarities in their descriptions. Hyenas possess incredibly strong teeth and jaws, can digest a wide variety of foods, are known to exhume human corpses for consumption, and can produce unnervingly human-like vocalizations, such as their infamous laugh. Local folklore often attributes supernatural powers to hyenas, including the ability to switch genders, as males and females are difficult to distinguish, shapeshift, and even mimic human speech. These traits likely contributed to the development of the myth surrounding the crocata, with the hyena playing a significant role in its origins.